What's going on, YouTube? Sin City Guns here out in Las Vegas. Got a new toy, so I figured I'd do a little review on it. And supposedly these are on the rare side, so I figured I'd show you what it's all about. So I got a Vickers edition Glock 17. I've had it for about a month. I've only shot it once though, actually. The only time I shot it, I took it to IDPA and I shot this in SSP in addition to ESP. I was shooting ESP that day as well. And it performed well. I took second in SSP division with this, having it be the first time I had ever shot it. I used to own a Glock 17 a long time ago, and I actually gave it away to a friend of mine, and this is the only 17 I've had since. So it's probably been a good 10 years or so. No, not that long. Probably 7 years or so since I shot a 17. So I was pleased with that. But I'll kind of get into it here. So flat dark earth, obviously, and this is the, what is it, Gen 3 RTF2 frame, the rough textured frame, and I really like it. Usually on my Glocks, especially anything that I'm going to shoot in competition, I'll put some grip tape or something on it. But man, this gun, it's very grippy. I really like the Gen 4 grip, and this feels even a little bit grippier than that. So I really like that. So what does it come with? So it comes with the Vickers extended mag release, which is kind of cool. This mag release is a little bit rounded. Instead of being just a normal extended mag release with the sharp edges that the Glock Gen 2 and Gen 3 mag releases usually have. It's kind of rounded, but it's still raised up. It's really nice. I can release the mag without changing my grip. You know, if I go, my true shooting grip would be here, and then I would come for a mag change. I can hit that without manipulating my hand too much, which is kind of nice. Again, I have fairly large hands, and the Glock, you know, fits my hand pretty well. But that mag release is great. Also, the extended slide release. You know what, I have to say, this is probably my favorite extended slide release out of all the extended slide releases that are out there for Glocks. It's very well done. You can see it raises up on the top portion, but then comes back down and meets with the slide down below. Again, rounded. It's just very elegantly done, and it definitely serves its purpose, man. I can feel it very well. And again, you know, I can hit that without even changing my grip. Now again, I do have the luxury of having kind of long fingers, but for anybody that has any issues with Glock slide releases, I would highly recommend this. These are not the sights that it came with. These are Warren Tactical Savigny sights here that I run on all of my guns with the green fiber optic. Now, what it came with, I threw on one of my other 19s here. It came with Wilson Combat Vickers sights, and this one is actually a tritium. So it was a tritium front with blacked out rear, and I didn't really care for that. If I'm going to do night sights, I like having the 3 dots. It was really difficult for me. I kept them on this 17 for a while, and I just went back and forth after, you know, my wife and kids would go to sleep. I'd kind of grab the gun with these sights on it, go around the house, and I just really couldn't get a good sight picture with only the tritium up front. So I switched them out, put them on this 19, and I went out and shot them, and even during the day it was hard for me to pick that up. So what I did was I had some fluorescent green paint, and I actually used this fluorescent green paint on the bottom to mark some of my magazines, to number all my magazines, and I just threw it on the front sight, and that really helped. So that's kind of cool. I was able to get a good set of sights for another handgun. It definitely doesn't pick up as well for me as the Warren Tactical. And the other thing that I noticed is on the Warren Tactical sights, the front post is very thin, which I really, really like. I don't know how thin it is. You guys can look it up. Warren Tactical Savigny sights. I don't really nerd out over the specs of things like that. But this front sight, this front post is a lot thicker. So for me, it presents a little bit different sight picture with that thicker front post. But they're definitely very, very good quality sights. And I heard that you can get the Vickers edition guns with a green or red fiber optic front sight in addition to the night sights that they come with. So the one that my gun store had just happened to be the night sights, and that's what I took, but yeah, I switched those out. So then the other thing this gun comes with is the magazines come with these Vickers tactical base plates, which I think are awesome as well. I had never done any oversized or extended base plates on any of my Glocks before, and I really, really like it. I don't think they would be that good if you're concealed carrying a 19 or a 17, because obviously they do stick out a little bit. I don't know that that would print that much more, but I think if you're carrying inside the waistband up nice snug against your body, you're probably definitely going to feel that. But it is kind of cool if you do have to come in here and strip anything out. I don't think that's the big advantage, but for me, what I've noticed is when I'm running them in my mag carrier, it's definitely a lot easier and quicker when I go for mag changes. When I go and grab this magazine, I mean, there's just so much more to grab onto with that. For me, I think it's quicker, and I think that is the biggest benefit of these magazine base plates. The other thing that I think is kind of cool, I don't know if they intended this, but they have these 8 dots on the bottom, so I just kind of started using those as my numbering system. It came with 3 magazines, and then I bought 5 extras to have 8, and I just use these as my numbering system. So this is obviously number 1, black dot there and there, that's number 2. This is magazine number 4 and number 6, and so on. So I think that's kind of cool too. Again, I don't know if that's what they intended with that, but I really like it. So yeah, this gun is a shooter, man. Typical Glock 17 as well. Very, very smooth, soaks up the recoil, the 9mm, very, very nice, and no complaints there. Now, I did do one other change to it after I shot it in IDPA, and I threw a trigger in it, 3.25 connector, and that's been really nice too. So I'm anxious. I actually haven't even shot it with this yet, so I'm anxious to get out there and shoot it with this new connector. So other than that, yeah, man, I would highly recommend it. From what I hear, they're only making 2,500 of the 17 Vickers and then only 2,500 of the 19s. I'm gonna try and pick up a 19 whenever my gun store has it. You could see you get a different serial number there too with the LAV after it, which is kind of cool too. But there it is, man. Larry Vickers, Glock 17, Flat Dark Earth, extended mag release, Vickers, extended Vickers slide release, Vickers base plates, and RTF2 Gen 3 frame, which, man, if I could buy every Glock with that, I probably would. It just does not move. I mean, when I shot IDPA a couple of weeks ago, it was, I don't know, 100 degrees out, and my hands were definitely sweating. That's why I use the grip tape on everything else, but for this, man, it was just awesome. It was just awesome. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll roll in some video at some point of me shooting this as well down the road. That way you guys can get a feel for that as well. But if you guys have a chance, go pick it up. I think I paid like $650 for this, so it wasn't that bad over a normal Glock 17. And I was actually just in my gun store yesterday, and they had some Gen 4 Glocks with a gray frame, which that's the first time I had seen that. Yesterday was the first time I saw that, and I'm definitely going to pick that up. I find myself wanting every gun that's not black I just have, like all of you guys, probably most of my guns are just black, and I think it's kind of cool to get into some of these other colors, whether it be, you know, the flat dark earth or the OD green. That gray looks really, really cool. So I'm gonna try and pick up another 19 Gen 4 in that gray here pretty soon. All right, hope you guys enjoyed. Please feel free to comment. I enjoy reading everybody's comments. And shoot straight, Sin City Guns.